we have the curious case of Zion Williamson, the rotund NBA ball player who loves porn stars and cheeseburgers. But who doesn't? When you think about it, what red-blooded American male does not enjoy porn stars and cheeseburgers? Anyway, if you've not heard the latest on this, am I going to do another rant about Zion and something this wild woman said on social media? Not right now. I'll do it later in the hour. But we are hearing now that the Pelicans are looking to trade Zion Williamson like in the next week. The NBA draft is next week, and they are looking to trade Zion Williamson. Now, Shams Charania tells us that Zion is in play to move to the auctioning block. The flea market of basketball is open. New Orleans is said to have its eye on the smooth play of guard Scoot Henderson. I don't know who Scoot Henderson is. He was playing in the G League, that Fugazi G League. I like the name, though, Scoot. It's a good name for a basketball player, Scoot. I don't know how he got it. I'm sure if he's good, we'll learn how he got the name Scoot. Probably not his given name, likely a nickname. Like Ha-Ha Clinton Dix of the Green Bay Packers back in the day. But I want to hear how he got the name. You think he was like a toddler and he scooted around on his ass in the diaper and they gave him the nickname Scoot? I don't know. But he is expected to be drafted in the second or third slot. The Parisian prodigy will be drafted number 1 by San Antonio. Those picks, number 2 and 3, are owned by the Hornets and the Trailblazers. So let's talk about all this. The question on this one, you make the call. I used to love those commercials. You make the call. What do? You are now the Pelicans general manager. You're eating po' boys and a lot of gumbo in Louisiana. What do you do with Zion Williamson? So I've got Rob Schneider, Father Flanagan, and FOMO. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make an alley-oop slam dunk, which Zion cannot do because his legs are not working. Blame the porn stars. All right, so to lead off here, this is a no-brainer if you're New Orleans. And I could activate the Mather think tank again. I don't need to activate the Mather think tank. Zion is both an exceptional talent and also must be ejected from the Pelicans. Both these things are simultaneously true. The Pelicans, a middling team, this guy's a liability. Okay, he's a liability. He's never been in shape as an NBA player, and now he's embarrassing the franchise off the court. And maybe it's not embarrassing to you, but this guy is starring in a remake of a Rob Schneider classic, Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. And not that he's the only one. If you knew what some of these guys did, oh, my God, the life they live. That's why you want to be a ball player. But Zion, you got to have some decorum, right? And Zion does play in the Bible Belt in Louisiana. We were debating in our production meeting, like, where does the Bible Belt end? Is there a cutoff on the Bible Belt? Has the Bible Belt been shortened? Is it extended and all that? But Louisiana is part of the Bible Belt. And Zion, he's not trying to earn money like Deuce Bigalow to fix the damage done at a party that went bad when he was, I guess he was house sitting or something like that. And was he trying to buy a fish tank also? I remember he cleaned fish tanks or something like that. Anyway, his idea, Zion, of rehab is something that our forefather here, the great Tony Bruno, used to say about all the time. 2 chicks at the same time. That's his idea of rehab. And like, what are we doing here? Now, New Orleans backed the wrong horse. That's the lesson here. We tried to warn them. They ignored our nightly sermons. Not that we did it every night. But now it is time for the grown-ups in the room to tell Zion, I believe the phrase is, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. I think that's the phrase there. And this guy, Scoot Henderson, 6'2", I don't know if he can play. All these guys, have you noticed these YouTube sizzle reels? Everyone looks like the greatest player in the world. I can't tell whether that's just good editing or this guy can actually play. Looks like a speed demon. He's like Ja Morant without the guns. It's like, it looks really good. It's really good. All right, furthermore, if you're the Trailblazers or the Hornets, what do you do? To quote Ja Morant, do you shoot your shot? What do you do with Zion? So we would be dubious. Dubious is the word. Not our cup of tea. I always pull for the fat-ass athlete. I always love the fat athlete. I have been an advocate for the fat athlete as long as I can remember. But he's making all fatties look bad. Even Fatty Arbuckle, the old Hollywood person, he looks bad. Everyone who's fat looks bad because of Zion. I want fit fat. I want my fat athlete to play. I don't want my fat athlete sitting around. Although it is kind of encouraging to every fat guy that all these beautiful porn starlets want to go to bed with him. Because most fat guys struggle, at least I can speak for myself, back in the day in that department. But here's the thing. If the Pelicans say we're going to cut bait, and they should, they will absolutely find a taker. Whether that's the Trailblazers, the Hornets, or a mystery team. I love the mystery team. Why? The Father Flanagan syndrome. Teams run by executives who have that Father Flanagan thing. They want to see the player turn their lives around that's down on their luck. Of course, that philosophy is that there's no such thing as a bad kid as long as that bad kid can get me 25 points and 12 rebounds a game. Not that bad a kid. Pretty good kid. If that kid could get you 6 points and 2 rebounds, sorry, we have no room for you. It's kind of like in my business in radio. Here's how I relate to that. Like if you're in radio and you get ratings and advertisers love you, you can miss every Monday and Friday and have a long criminal record, and they will find a way to keep you employed. If you do those same things and you have no one listening, then obviously you will be shown the transfer portal. You will be kicked out here. But Zion does check the box, like in terms of the Father Flanagan thing. And you can sell him in a trade to your fan base, and this guy just needs a change of scenery. He needs a new beginning, from sin to salvation. And all it takes is a fresh start. That's all it takes. All right, now last thing here. How did New Orleans screw up the Zion situation? So my diagnosis, after a minutes-long investigation on a newbie night, the Pelicans franchise suffered from low self-esteem. That's it. All right. Now, I remember I was at Dayton. There's some dudes always looked for the girl that had low self-esteem for certain reasons. But you can figure out why. But low self-esteem. They bought the hype. They're like, this guy's so good. He doesn't belong to us. We're not good enough to have Zion Williamson, the generational talent from the Dukies and all that. They bought the hype. And then they suffered a case of extreme FOMO, fear of missing out. They figured Zion's a generational talent. Does he have to stop eating 17 cheeseburgers and chili cheese fries? No. Money will fix everything. Just throw money. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! It did not work. It did not work. They tossed caution to the wind. They made an irrational move. And instead of paying Zion Williamson, they should have sent him to a fat farm. Oink, oink, oink. The money is the carrot. That's the motivation. Everyone knows that, right? Once you get the money, that's it. All right? Game, set, and match. Game, set, and match when you get the money. And you look around, and Zion's in great shape to host a radio show. He could do a talk show for 4 hours and sit on his ass and talk. His body, that is your product. It's same as a prostitute. You're a professional athlete. Your body is the product. You're selling your body, your athletic ability. His body's got several glitches. And by giving Zion generational wealth before he earned it, the message was sent. Continue to overindulge and eat all the beignets you want and knock yourself out and hang out with the beads and all that good stuff. And maybe it was a woman, Barbara, that used to listen to the show in New Orleans, and she sent us the king cake. Man, was that good cake. And that we really loved it. Unfortunately, Barbara stopped listening to the show, so we don't get king cake anymore. But that was yummy. It was really yummy. It was really good. But now the Pelicans, we fast forward, and now they are between the devil and the deep blue sea. because they're like, this guy's he's a fat pig. He can't play, but he's really good at screwing around, literally, off the court. And so the concern would be that he's like Brett Favre 2.0. It's a little different. Like Brett Favre wasn't a fat ass. He just liked a lot of drugs and drinking when he was at the Atlanta Falcons. And so Jerry Glanville famously got rid of Brett Favre, and they sent him to Green Bay because they figured there are no drugs. There's a lot of alcohol in Wisconsin, but there's no drugs. And so he'll be all right. And then Brett Favre became a Hall of Fame player and all that. And so the concern is that Zion will be traded, and then he'll go somewhere else, and whether it's Charlotte or Portland, and become a star. And the difference is, like, I'm pretty sure every city, even Portland, Oregon, and Charlotte, have OnlyFans, in air quotes, models. You know what I'm saying? You feeling me on that?